Oh, this is Professor Melly Mel. We're here in the lab. I'm here with a special guest today. Introduce yourself, sir.
Raymond Hazelwood.
Man,
Lil Raymond.
Lil Raymond.
The Mac video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
Where did you grow up, Lil Raymond?
Grew up in Compton, on Pearl, off of Rosecrans, but ran with Elm Street.
Okay, but
Lueders Park.
is that the initiation from when you, before Compton, where were you at?
Pueblos.
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 What year was that?
Pueblos, 1971 to 75, but my first set was Pueblos, man.
Okay.
That's when it all broke out, man. You know, Pueblo Bishop.
Got a couple of questions, right? There was a cat over there. His name was Charlie Hawk and Hardball.
Yeah.
So you remember those guys?
I do, yeah.
What about Papa T?
Papa T, yeah, I knew Papa T. That
Okay.
was my boy, yeah.
Okay,
You
good.
Papa T.
So I guess later on you met Stutterbox.
Stutterbox, right? You know, but see, back then when Stutterbox actually came to the Pueblos later. You know, back when Stutterbox came to the Pueblos, I was already in Compton by then.
Okay.
You know, but I know Stutterbox well. You know,
Okay.
He's still over there. You know,
They have something famous over there called the T-line. Was that initiated then, or maybe that came later on?
That came later on.
Okay, good.
You know, when I in the Pueblos, it's actually when gangbanging first started to blow up, man. I want to say I want to say 70, 75, 76 when you know, Terry Simmons, you know, the Avalon Crips, man, you know, Kitchen Crips. I don't know if you knew about them, you know, but them boys, they had the Baby Crips, you know, and we graduated from Holmes Avenue in the Pueblos, man. You know, we really didn't even know what that was, and we had to go to school. We went to Edison, and our first day at Edison, man, we got chased home. You know, because we didn't understand that culture. You understand? Uh-huh. And the big homies see us running home, you know, and ask, you know, what's up with y'all? Yeah, it's the Baby Crips. You know, they was taking over Edison, Carver, wasn't too far from us. You know, going west, they was taking over that, and really that was the beginning of it. We had our summer jobs, so everybody had the bomber jackets and the Scooby-Doo shoes. You know, on the first day, when we come running home, the big homies grabbed us and said, "No, it's just as many of y'all. Y'all better go, you know, back to school tomorrow and get y'all scrap on." So we went back the next day, and that's how we was introduced to the whole thing, man.
So would it be fair to say that you guys at that point organized?
We did. We were kind of forced to. You know what I mean? 'Cause we went. We came from Holmes Avenue. That was an elementary school that was right in the projects. All we knew was each other. Was the Pueblos. We didn't know anything about gangbanging. We didn't know anything about cuz, blood. Really, none of that. You know, that was our introduction to it. And they were organized, and they came us, so we were forced to organize.
Got you.
And we didn't really have it together. So it really wasn't enough of us because it was a lot of them. So we connected with the Outlaws from.
I remember those guys.
Yeah, they were from Bethune Park on the east side in LA. And our big homies is the ones that made the connections with the 9 Deuce Bishops. And that's when we started calling ourselves Pueblo Bishops.
Okay, got you.
So that's where it all started, you know.
Man, that's a nice piece of history right there,
we,
man.
We just wanted to go to school, man. You know what I mean? And you know, that's when they was taking leather coats, man. You know, you couldn't wear a leather jacket unless you was unless you was a hog, you know. And you know, we all had summer jobs, and you know, got school clothes.
Cedar program?
That wasn't around yet. Cause see, I'm talking about like 75, 76.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
We went to Edison Junior High, man. That was a lot of us. That was our first time out of the projects, man. Unless we was catching the bus downtown to go to the movies.
So here go the bigger question. Well, not necessarily the bigger question.
Mm-hmm.
What year did you land in Compton?
I came to Compton. You know, my parents bought a house in 76.
Uh-huh.
And that's when they bought the house over on Piru.
Uh-huh.
I was about to graduate from junior high, so I didn't come with them right away. I moved with my grandmother because I was going to Mount Vernon, way on the west side.
Uh-huh.
Because once we got caught up in that stuff, Pueblo, man, I got kicked out of Edison, got kicked out of Carver. I couldn't go to no schools on the east side. So that's when, I don't know if you know who George McKenna was.
No, tell me about it.
George McKenna ended up being a politician and assemblyman, but he built his reputation as a principal mostly at Washington when he turned them into a prep school. They had like the worst test scores in the state and this, and he went over there, he transformed it. In fact, they made a movie about it and this and that. But before George McKenna went to Washington, he was the principal at Mount Vernon Junior High, and he had a reputation. Any of us who got kicked out of, getting kicked out of most of the schools in L.A., nobody wouldn't let us in. Especially, I don't know if you knew about Jackson was an all-boys school downtown about that day. Once you got kicked out of Jackson, man, there wasn't nowhere for you to go. But I was told, or my parents was told, you can go to George McKenna and talk to him, and he'll let you in over at
Washington Prep?
Actually, it was at Mount Vernon then.
Mount
He was
Vernon.
still at Mount Vernon. It was the junior high, and I went and talked to George McKenna. He was a hardcore. I don't know where he was from, boy, but he was from somewhere. He was a roughneck, but he was cool. He was a
So was the gangs at Mount Vernon as well?
Oh yeah, they had that's when I first got actually introduced and connected with the Black Pea Stones, and then they had what was it Playboy Crips over there at Mount Vernon at the time? I think so. Dang, I must be getting old. I forgot. Yeah. So yeah.
No, it's Playboy Crips definitely on the west side.
Yeah.
Playboy Gangsters.
Yeah. They was there, and so they had them, but Mr. McKenna wasn't no joke, man. Miss McKenna told me, you can come here, but he looked at my transcripts and my records and everything, and Mr. McKenna said, man, you've been an honor student everywhere you went, man. See, and you know what's so cold, Melly? I used to try to hide that because I was ashamed of that, and that came from in the Pueblos, man. I remember I used to hide my report card, man, when we carry our report card, because I didn't want the homies to know.
Because he wasn't gangster?
Yeah, I guess so, man. But I'm just speaking to how twisted it was,
Right.
growing up. You know what I mean?
Right.
What kind of kid, man, is ashamed of the fact, that they get straight A's, In fact, when I was at Holmes Avenue, one of my teachers, Mr. Elliott, came and talked to my mom and my step-pop. They wanted to skip me, man, skip a grade, But my step-pop was like, no, because he thought I was fucked up socially. So he needed to stay exactly where he at.
Yeah, because he would see you every day, right?
Yeah. But just to speak to the mindset that we, was in, I was ashamed of that. But Mr. McKenna looked at that. He said, I tell you what, you can come to Mount Vernon, but you can't drive because, we was putting together cars back then, or trying to anyway. Even though ain't nobody had no license shit, at 13, 14 years old. He said, you can come to Mount Vernon, but you can't drive. you're gonna have to get your ass on the bus, and you gotta stay an honor student, you know, or I'm kicking your ass out. And he made me bring him a progress report every week.
Wow.
At the end of the week, you know. So Mr. McKenna, man, Mr. McKenna was cool, man. He helped me out in a whole lot of areas, though, you know. But once I graduated from Mount Vernon, my people had already moved to Compton, and that's when I hit the CPT, man.
Professor Melly Mel here with Raymond. We're in the lab today. We're just trying to go over this history, man, because history is medicine for a sick mind, because within history there's a variety of human experiences which we can learn from. So we're going to show how Raymond went from a negative to a positive in this whole interview, man. This is important that we get this information out there, because it gives a platform for the younger generation to understand how they can also take their lives and move it in a direction that is conducive to their well-being, and they can sustain their life on just being in a positive nature. So, Lil Raymond, once again, Melly Mel, Next Level, kevmacvideos, where content is king. Compton, man. We're in Compton. What is it, 75 or 76?
Compton, 76.
76.
We moved from the Pueblos, man, you know. Compton was a culture shock to me, man, you know, because the cultures nowadays, I guess because of BET, MTV, and all that, they pretty much replicate themselves across the nation now. But Compton was a different culture from LA culture. And in LA,
give me an example.
In LA, when I left the Pueblos, man, you know, it really wasn't that much gunplay. You know, you had to, man. You know what I mean. You had to know how to slang them, man. You had to chunk them, and it was put like this. It was family fights every day, and I was usually out there by myself. So,
but one thing I can say, Raymond, the times that I did see you, man, I ain't never seen you turn down no fight, man. No. So you know what I mean. You know, man, whatever anybody think or don't think, man, I can vouch for that, man. And I'm from the other side, so I've never seen you turn nothing down. But go ahead.
But when I came to Compton, it was a culture shock, and to tell you the truth, I can say now what I wouldn't dare say back then. You know, it made me fearful. You know, for my life. Because when I came to Compton, man, you know, it was a few that can say, but it wasn't that many. It wasn't that much fighting, because you can chunk them, but it wasn't gonna stop there, man. The gunplay in Compton at that time was a lot more elevated than it was in LA. When I came, we did, you know, brass knuckles, and you know, we learned how to make zip guns and metal shop and little stuff like that. Every now and then, you know, somebody might get shot. You know, I think the whole time I was in the Pueblos, man, I lost one homie to gun violence, and it was really from one of our own.
Right,
you know?
right.
So, you know, that was a culture shock to me, man, when I went to Compton. And you know, first I was attracted to the money at first. So I was attracted to Boo Boo, you know, Turtle and Sammy, but you know, bartender, I moved right next door to bartender.
That's what I was going to get at, man.
And he took me under his wing, man. You know, and bartender was like, "Come here, little homie," you know. And he was like, "Man, you from the Pueblos, man. You from the blood card. You can't hang over here." You know, and I was, you know, it was a bummer because, you know, they was getting money, you know. So right. I'm like, okay. He said, well, I'm gonna introduce you to one of my younger homies, you know, and the younger homie he introduced me to was Stanley Pitts.
Stanley Pitts.
You know, so Stanley.
My man, yeah. Stanley Pitts. You know, me and Stanley, man, had a good relationship in the 7th grade, man. And when we got to the 8th grade, he stopped speaking to me, man.
Yeah.
But I used to tell dudes about Stanley, man. Yeah. Well, they didn't know, man, but I knew that when I used to see Stanley get into it with dudes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, boy, if you don't watch that left, you
Ooh,
gonna be in trouble.
we had a meeting, and it was wicked.
Yeah, soft
You know what I mean?
soft part.
Yeah.
I saw Keith Lampkins get into it with him, man, and I'm thinking to myself, Keith, stay to the left, stay to the left, because it's coming, it's coming. And Stanley cocked that thing alone and boom! Man, that knocked that man out of his shoes.
That left was wicked.
Yeah.
And Stanley had one of them deals where if you don't know no better, he's big, he's built strong.
Right.
Then he looks
upper body.
Right. If you look at him at a glance, he might look skinny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he's built strong, man. You know.
Right,
so
right.
Anyway, he introduced me to Stanley Pitts, man. So Stanley is actually the one that took me over to on the other side of Rosecrans, introduced me to the Chisholms. Me and the Chisholms hit it right off because I knew them because before they moved over there, they were from Bonnie Hunter.
The Nickersons.
Yeah, they're from the Nickersons. And we used to sell brittle with them. I don't know if you knew about the brittle truck, you know what I mean? But we used to sell, a man used to come by, pick us up, and take us out to these way out places to sell candy and stuff.
Right. Got you.
Or whatnot, So I hit it off with the Chisholms right away, man. And them was my coon booms because I knew them through Bonnie Hunter Cord,
Right.
Which I knew Rat, I knew Bonnie on the Rat, and Charles Galloway, on Bonnie on the Loaf, and his little brother, I knew.
What about Renzi?
Renzi, I didn't know him personally. I didn't know him.
What about Big Los?
Big Los, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What about Frog?
Frog, yeah, new Frog, yeah.
Bonnie on the Frog.
Yeah,
me and Frog talk from time to time, man.
Yeah.
Good dude, man. Yeah.
So that was the connection to me and the Chisholms, and that took off from there. We was cool. Stanley was cool, man. But Stanley was kind of he even though he was a year older than me, man. He was like big homie,
Yeah.
He initially we go do a couple because I wanted to do some work because I needed some heat, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Stanley took me to do a couple of little.
And Stanley was quiet, really.
He was. He didn't have he wasn't, that talkative. Yeah.
Yeah, he was quiet.
Yeah, Stanley was quiet, And crazy thing is, Stanley lived over by Mona Park, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually used to go through y'all hood on 10-speed every day to go to Stanley's spot, to put up our loot after we did our little licks or whatever, But yeah, but I was always, y'all was, and it turned out even after I left, man, y'all was hustlers. I don't know if that was because of Turtle's influence. Because Turtle was a politician out in them streets, man.
He was a real politician.
Yeah.
Let me say this, man. Kenny Wayne Johnson, a.k.a. Turtle, man. He just was an all different total breed, man, because he established, long ago, he set himself up in a way to where he didn't get high.
Right.
He didn't, he didn't drink. He didn't do nothing, but he was always paying attention and trying to figure out other ways. And he also was able to create an economy within our tribe that was unprecedented.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we had multiple levels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
And even, guys like my big homies, was like I honestly didn't know that Big Dolph was hooked up with, y'all the way he was, financially.
Atkinson.
Yeah,
Dolph,
him and
Randolph, Stutterbox. See, I didn't know that. Behind the scenes.
But it's not surprising because Big Dolph was about that money, man.
About that money, man.
Big money.
Me and Randolph used to break bread all the time. See, y'all didn't know I was coming over there with San Marcos to the dead end, going back in the back house in the green house. Randy told me, man, don't worry about them dudes, man. Them dudes better not say nothing to you.
No, didn't nobody mess with Big Dolph.
No. Big Dolph had a hand game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so coming back to bartender, man. Living next door to bartender, I got to know that was it. Because bartender had an influence as well on us as younger Crips, right? Because bartender would come through the gate, through the trailer park, come to the gate, me, Boo Boo, Yogi, Raider, Bruce Hollyfield, Tiger, Midnight. We all be in there drinking some Diamond Red or some, And bartender come with the, with the weed, and we sit up there and roll some weed right behind the snack bar and get, and get high or whatever, you know what I mean? And he would just talk to us, you know what I mean? And we tell him what was going on with us.
Bartender was a different type of dude, man. You know what I mean?
Politician himself.
He was, but he was a class act, man. And the one sad thing about him leaving so early, because he was 21 when he got killed, is that I believe that he would have led the way as far as helping to elevate our consciousness, because he was smart. One of the things that the day before bartender got killed, man, I'm coming through. In fact, I think that was the day,
Bartender, he at 21, he
lost
lost his life.
He did, over at Doodles on the west side, man, But that same day, man, bartender is in his driveway, and I'm coming up. I think I had just got into a scuffle with somebody up in Market Basket. You remember that, right? Yeah. And bartender like, homie, come here, man. He said, man, I kind of hate that I introduced you to, the little homies over there, because after that, he was like, every time I turn around, you into some shit, man, I just got into the street politics, man, and I don't know, it started off, I was about the money, man, I didn't have a lot, but I wanted some, you know what I mean, and y'all actually, even back then, was the better hustlers. Mm-hmm. I couldn't hang, because the little homies, maybe Big Dolph and them, they could do their own thing, but we was too busy, feuding with each other and all. Mm-hmm. It was stupid, man. Mm-hmm. Immature, I wish I'd have been bigger than that, but I wasn't, And but bartender stopped me. He said, "Hey, man, I hate I introduced you to that, man. He said, won't you slow down, man? Slow down, man. He's like, where you finna go now? I was finna go somewhere, He said, man, why don't you just take a break for the day, man. I've been hearing your name popping up all over the place, man. At Dominguez, because, I think you was a grade ahead of, you was about 2 grades ahead of me.
Yeah, I was class of 77.
Yeah, so when we hit, 10th grade, we was a bunch of little dudes coming up there, man, whatever, man. Right. Everybody was little, except for Stanley.
Right, Stanley.
We was coming.
But what I always noticed, man, the toughest dudes in the school never got into it.
Yeah, it was always everybody
I think they should have just got into it and settled everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. But they always seem to avoid one another.
But you know what? Honestly, back then, y'all, your tribe really wasn't our biggest route. It was Southside. Mm-hmm. Bugs, Squancho, little brother,
the neighborhoods.
Yeah, it was we was battling with them for the most part. Y'all, I think we caught the same school buses, y'all.
Yeah.
What I mean?
But see, a lot of people don't know, man, that we went to elementary together.
Right, yeah.
And we went to Whaley together the year before, let's see, my 7th grade year, there was nothing.
Right, yeah.
8th grade, that's where the paradigm shift came. That's why I say Stanley stopped speaking to me in the 8th grade. But everything changed. But basically, we knew one another, so we had established relationships. Right. And it was always the dudes that was outside. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because everybody that knew each other, they kind of like avoided one another.
Right, but until then, there was a lot of people over there I admire. Ivan Brooks, man. Mm-hmm. I love Ivan, man. You know what I mean? That was,
I don't know how he was going over there to see Janellis, man, and y'all be right down the street,
because
man.
Ivan was a hog like that, though, man. Didn't nobody mess with Ivan.
Yeah, he can fight.
Oh, yeah.
He can fight. IB.
Yeah.
IB, midnight, we call it.
Yeah. Nobody pretty much, man, but he was just a cool dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And you know what? Ivan used to come over there, man. And he'd have his blue rag he didn't stuff his rag for nobody, man. He have it hanging out, but when it was him, it was nothing because it was Ivan, man. But it was a couple of people from over, and plus y'all wasn't our main. You know, y'all became our main rivals, man. After Bullet.
That's what happened, right?
You know, after Bullet. You know, and that's when it escalated.
That's when it escalated.
You know, between us and y'all. You know,
right?
And but anyway, bartender pulled me, man. He really regretted. I don't know how else he felt it could have went. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I got caught up, and that's why now I don't like let me say I don't trust the group conscious. That because
they withhold information and that it could be valuable to you, and they just take it and do it whether they want to with it instead of sharing it.
Not only that, Mel, but it's just more dangerous than you think, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
You know, now when we all just before I went to the military, we all was catching cases. We all was catching cases too. You know, we all was catching cases, man, and you know, and what we didn't know, because Compton PD was still around back then. They had been piling information on both sides, you know, for a couple of years, man. And I know on our side, they brought about, 3 or 4 cases down at the same time that they had been, investigating for 3 or 4 years, and they were talking about, locking us up forever. You know what I mean?
Same on our side,
including the the Bullet, case.
But let me iterate on that though.
Yeah,
they were the ones that told us that Porky didn't do it.
Oh man,
how crazy is that? Yeah.
Oh man,
that's how we found out. Yeah. All that time we thinking that Porky did it
because Porky was on trial for it.
Right. Well, but he didn't do it. But and I don't know if you know this, but Strawberry.
Yeah.
Killed.
Yeah, I was there, man. But see,
our own homie running and shooting over his shoulder.
Yeah, and another. Well, I don't think I know Robert probably knew, but I don't think nobody else. But me and Kim, man, we had a little low key, like little
relationship.
Yeah. We had a relationship. Man.
He could fight too, though.
Oh hell yeah! And
little strong, though.
Yeah, a lot of my homies, man, my homies, they was dirty, man. They wanted to see me and Kim fight. That's because they were scared of him. They didn't want to get out with him.
Yeah, Lil George and them and all them. They didn't want nothing. They didn't want no smoke.
In fact, a couple of days before Bullet got killed up at the carnival, I want to say a week before then, a lot of y'all tribe was up, man, on one of them little side streets, I don't know, Poppy or whatever, and we came head to head with us, and Bullet stepped out, and he called out Jesse.
Country.
Yeah, he called out Jesse, and Jesse was about to step up. He had the heart. I was like, no, man, come here. Because, Jesse was my folks, man.
But he couldn't.
He couldn't have the Bullet, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, he was like, what's up, Ray? No, man. You can't do this.
You out.
Yeah, but me and Kim, had a mutual respect for each other. So much so, because I'm telling you a story. I don't think I shared this with nobody aside my homies. It was a girl that I used to try to holler at, Annette Leader. I don't know if you do. She stayed, I think that was like Mayo, like across the street from Roosevelt, over there off of Laundry, over there. And I used to jump on a 10-speed, and I had my little path I used to hit behind them alleys. You know how we all did it, bro.
We all did that.
To go visit. Because I remember Lil George finding out, Lil George hit me. I mean, where you be going? Where you be going, bro? I told him. He said, man, don't do that, man. Don't go over there. He said, you be strapped. I said, yeah, but he said, don't do that. He got so mad at me, man. He was like, man, I tell you what, if you get popped over there, I ain't going to your funeral, and this and that. But
was that prior to them? Was that when they was U.S. or did they turn yet?
No, they were Southside.
They were Southside.
They were Southside
okay.
by then, But for whatever reason, I didn't, Bullet was, he'd probably be over there for a girl too. I don't know, but I used to take the same route every day. And he must have peeped it, because I had strap on me, but I'm on the 10 speed. Imagine my hands on the handlebars. Strap is right here, But the last time it's a corner I hit before I come up to her house, and I would park my 10 speed inside her gate, in the side gate right there. I hit that corner. Bullet was right there, man, on a bike with strap in hand. I looked at him. I said, "Oh, look at it." He's like, "Already, I got you, cuz." I said, "Yeah, man." He said, "No, man, it's cool though." You know what I mean? He gave me a pass, man. Mm-hmm. And ever since that day, man, we kind of had our own little,
Right.
Yeah, like when he called out Jesse, and I pulled him back, he left me alone, man. We just wouldn't fight each other.
Right.
Partially because we knew everybody wanted to see that fight.